There's a great story about a man who wanted to be successful. So he found this amazing guru. He found this guru who was the best at what he did. And he said, I'm going to go track this guy down. So he found out where he lived and he flew out, knocked on the guy's door, and the guy answered and he said, can I help you? He said, yeah, I heard you were this guru and I want to be successful. I want to be successful like you. Can you teach me the secret to success? How do I become great? So the guru looked him up and down and said, meet me tomorrow by the beach at 5:30 in the morning and I'll tell you how to be successful. So the guy said, great. Showed up the next day in a suit. Should have worn a bathing suit because when he got there, the guru said, start walking in the water. He's the guru. He listened to the guru. So he started walking in the water, got about knees deep, and he saw that the guru was following him in. He said, okay, he's going to teach me something about the water, whatever it is, I don't know. Some analogy maybe. The guru says, keep walking. He says, okay. Keeps walking, gets about waist deep, and he turns around and he says, can you tell me now how to be successful? And the guru says, keep walking. Okay. Keeps walking. At this point, he's thinking maybe this guru is a little crazy. He might be successful, but he's a little crazy. But he's the guru. I came all this way. I'm going to keep going. Gets about shoulders deep. And he's like, okay, at this point, I can't go any further. Turns around and says, okay, can you tell me how do I be successful? The guru says, keep walking. He's about to turn and say, like, are you serious? But he's thinking, like, okay, I came all this way. The guru probably has his special lesson he wants to teach me, so I'll keep walking. He keeps walking. He gets, at this point, it's like chin deep. He's about to get to his mouth. He's about to turn around when he feels the guru shove his head underneath the water. And he's struggling. He's trying to pull the guru's hand off of his head. He can't pull the guy's hand off. And he's struggling to breathe. And he's thinking, oh my gosh, I came here. I'm going to die. This guru really is crazy. He's struggling. He can't breathe. And he's about to pass out. And just before he's about to lose consciousness, the guru pulls his head from underneath the water. And the guru tells him something he'll never forget. He says, when you were just underneath the water, what did you want most? I wanted to breathe. That's all I wanted. All I wanted was to breathe. And the guru said, when you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. When you want to succeed. That's what Rosh Hashana is about. Rosh Hashana is about wanting, it's about deciding. Because if you actually think about it, we think of Rosh Hashana as when Hashem created the world. But the Gemara says that there's an opinion that Hashem created the world in Nisan. So what's the solution to this problem? Did Hashem create the world in Rosh Hashana or Nisan? So Tosfos says that Hashem decided. Allah b'machshava, Hashem decided. It was the want, it was the ratzon, it was the decision, will. That's what Rosh Hashanah is about. Hashem decided to create the world in Rosh Hashanah, but he actually created Nisan. Rosh Hashanah is all about inception. It's about the root. It's about deciding. And so much of life is about deciding who we want to be, who we're going to be, what we're going to create with our life. And if we think about Teshuvah is about becoming who we're meant to be. The Maharal says Teshuvah is returning to our root self, to our ultimate self, to our true self. But the Ramchal says, how do you do that? What's real Teshuvah? It's like kiras haratzon. It's changing what we want. It's the decision to want more. It's when we decide what we're going to be, who we're going to be, how we're going to do it. The actions will come afterwards. The actual steps, the growth, the pain, the process, that's the next step. But Rosh Hashanah is all about deciding. It's about rooting yourself within reality. It's saying, who do I want to be? And the power of ratzon, the power of will, of decision, it has halachic significance. We find the Gemara in Kedushin, Daf Mem Tes. It says that if someone says, I'll marry you on condition that I'm a tzaddik, you have to be choshesh. You have to view that with halachic significance. It might be chal, it might be a good marriage. But the Gemara says, even if he's not a tzaddik? And the Gemara says, yeah. Why? Because we're afraid that maybe he had herhurei teshuvah. Maybe at the point when he was creating that kedushin, maybe he did teshuvah and became a tzaddik. But he didn't fulfill the teshuvah. He didn't do it, but he decided. It's about who you want to be. That's the root of teshuvah. That's the root. Deciding halachas acknowledges where you want to be. As a matter of fact, there's a Mishnah in Eruvin which talks about the halacha of when you leave a city on Shabbos, you can only walk 2,000 amos. So let's say you're outside the city and it's Erev Shabbos. So you're only going to have 2,000 amos to walk. But let's say it's right before Shabbos and you say, I want to be there. And you point to a place in the distance. Halacha recognizes where you want to be, where you decide you're going to be. Oh, but you're not there yet. You're still here. You're only walking there. You're not there yet. But you decided you want to be there. You can decide where you want to be. You can decide who you're going to be. And once you make that decision, everything else comes after that. The root is the decision. That's why the Rambam puts the halachos of free will in Hilchos Teshuvah. Because the foundation of Teshuvah is will. It's deciding. It's making that difficult choice to become more, to want more, to expect more from yourself. Free will says philosophy. What's that doing in Hilchos Teshuvah? No, because the only way you can change, the only way you can actually become someone different is if you get into that root point of will within yourself and decide. And it's actually the answer to a classic fundamental question, the Rambam. The Rambam says that most people are Beinanim. We have the Tzaddikim, we have the Shem and Beinanim. And Beinanim are people who are exactly in the middle, 50-50. And the classic question everyone asks is that I guarantee you most people are not 50-50. Most people are a little bit here, a little bit there. Really? Almost everyone we know are Beinanim? But what's a Beinani? So tzaddik is someone who always does something right, always makes the right decisions. Risharim are the people who always make the wrong decisions. Beinanim are usually people who sometimes they do the right thing, sometimes do the wrong thing. How can everyone be exactly in that same point? Some people are maybe, a little bit leaning there, a little bit leaning there. Is everyone really in that middle point? But there's a much deeper understanding of Beinani. It's not a numerical you're not quantifying how many mitzvahs you do, how many averos you've done. A Beinani is where are you rooted? You see, most people have never decided they're going to be a tzaddik, where everything in their life is devoted towards one cause, to living a life of emes, living a life of avodas Hashem, living a life of actualizing their ultimate potential, devoting their life to self-development, to growth, to Talmud Torah, to contributing their life and their talents and their skills to Klal Yisrael, to the world. And most people, on the other hand, haven't decided they're going to devote all of their life to Rishos, to be a Rasha. Most people, they just have never decided at all. They've never rooted themselves and said, I am going to devote my life to this. They've just been waiting. They have never chosen their identity, have never realized who they're truly supposed to be, and they're still a Beinani. They're still in the middle. But true Teshuvah is getting outside being a Beinani and realizing what you're truly destined for. It's devoting your life and deciding who you're going to be. Now here's the classic question. How? How do I do that? How do I change what I want? It's like, do I really, if I say, okay, now I want to be great, do I really want to be great? Now I want to devote my life to, do I really want to do that? So the first stage is tefillah. Tefillah, avodas haratzon, working on your will, working on what you want. But the true purpose of tefillah, true purpose of avodas haratzon, avodas halev, is the second answer, which is realizing that you don't have to change who you are. You don't have to change what you want. You have to recognize who you truly are. The Gemara in Nida Daf Lamed Amud Beis says that when you were in the womb, you learned Kol HaTorah Kula. And the Vilna Gaon says it doesn't mean just like Chumash and Rashi. It means that you were learning like the deeper perspective of all of reality. You saw all of truth through a clear lens. And you also saw your purpose, your uniqueness. And then the Malach hits you on the mouth and you forget it. Why? The Vilna Gaon says, so you come into this world and build it yourself. When it was in the womb, it was a gift. It wasn't earned. You come into this world to become you. And true Teshuvah, the Maharal explains, is becoming who you really are, who you're supposed to be, returning to your root, to your fetal state. So Akiras Haratzon, changing what you want, is not really just changing what you want, it's discovering what you really want. To live your purpose, to live your ultimate greatness, to achieve all of your potential, to bring everything you're capable of becoming into this world, into actualized potential. And that's true Teshuvah. discovering your true Ratzon, which is aligned with the Ratzon Hashem, becoming your true self. So obviously the stages of growth are difficult. You get inspired and you start growing and you overcome difficulty and challenges and you lose the inspiration. You want to give up. Life after that initial decision is a difficult process. But there's two important things to realize. Number one, everything starts based on the decision, based on the vision, based on deciding and making that absolute commitment to your greatness. And number two, what helps you overcome the difficulty and actually follow through is remembering your why. Remembering why you made the decision in the first place. Remembering what's this all about. Why am I driven? I'm trying to live my purpose. I'm living with passion. I'm living with meaning. I'm living a life of avodas Hashem. So as we come to Rosh Hashanah, as we come to Yom Hadin, we're really judging ourselves because we decide who we're going to be. So when we come to Rosh Hashanah this year, let's decide, let's root ourselves within reality, let's connect Hashem in the deepest way, and let's make the decision that this upcoming year we're going to start achieving, or continue achieving, or take our achievement to the next level. Let's really tap in to our deepest Ratzon, and let's take that vision of our filial perfection, and let's continue bringing that into reality and becoming our greatest selves.